Timing on that one was perfect. Hey y'all, it's Mandy, and this is my week 30 update. I've been on Mounjaro. I'm on 7.5 and today will be my 23rd 7.5 dose shot, but we're going to be talking about my 22nd week on 7.5. Since today is shot day, it starts a new week. Today is Monday. I hope this is the day that you're seeing this. My shot day was, was it originally? Thursdays, I think. And then I ended up moving it because I was just feeling too tired over the weekend after taking my shots. And we are at our RV every weekend that we can be. And so I didn't like just feeling zapped while we were there. Then over time, the fatigue seemed to get better, like I wasn't experiencing it as much or as bad. And then I took, I can't remember if it was 1 week or 2 weeks off. I think I just skipped 1 week to see if my maintenance plan was going to be to dose every other week or go back on 5 milligram. Well, I quickly seen that skipping a week is not how I want to approach it, because the inflammation that the Mounjaro does help me with returned quite fast, and I didn't like that. So I'm going to finish up my refills that I have on the 7.5 and then kind of reassess my calories that I'm able to eat and decide at that time if I want to go back to the 5 milligram. I have noticed the past, I want to say 2 weeks, that my appetite is increasing, which is completely fine with me, and it's completely normal. The longer that you're on a GLP-1, and your body adapts. Your body has this miraculous thing it does. It adapts to everything eventually. And so that's one reason why I wouldn't recommend anybody rushing to titrate up and just keep going up. Definitely ride out the dose that you're on before you jump up, because once you reach that highest dose, I mean, there's nowhere else to go. So take your time. Don't be in a hurry. Now, when I started Mounjaro, I had already been on a GLP-1 that was just for weight loss. I was on Saxenda, and I had weight loss surgery in 2020, so I'd already lost a massive amount of weight. So I kind of knew going in that I wasn't going to stay on the 2.5 for more than a month, because it was like I wasn't new blood at the rodeo, so to speak. But and I didn't expect to lose a lot of weight in the beginning, which, you know, was the case for me. But I lost my train of thought. Yeah, I'm so tired. This fatigue has really been something this week. I did kind of expect 7.5 or 5 milligram even to be like my landing spot, just because of the weight loss surgery. And I already wasn't able to eat the amount of food that I was able to eat prior to weight loss surgery. I did have some weight gain after weight loss surgery when I went into like full-blown menopause. Some of that, or most of that, was due to, again, the menopause and hormonal changes. I started craving sweets, and so during that weight gain it wasn't from me eating more volume of food. It was me eating different foods that I hadn't been eating, that was higher in sugar, calories, and all of that. So I went from eating, for instance, like steamed veggies and grilled chicken for dinner to cheeseburger and french fries from a fast food restaurant. Went from not eating sweets, or if I did want something, and having a little mini candy bar, I would have cheesecake, or split a piece of cheesecake or something. And even though I was splitting the cheesecake, it was still more calories, more sugar, more fat, more everything than a little mini candy bar. So I wasn't able to binge physically, since weight loss surgery. That's just not something that I'm able to do, or not that I want to, but you get what I'm saying. I just can't physically eat high volumes of food. I do feel like I was able to eat more food than other people that I know who've had weight loss surgery, and it led me to kind of question, did Doc really take out as much stomach as he said I had, he removed? But then I paid attention to the types of foods that I was eating during this time that I was, thinking these thoughts, versus what my family and friends who had the same surgery were eating. I was eating more snacky things, like slider foods, than they were. For instance, for lunch, I mentioned the grilled veggies and the rice. I would have that a lot of times for dinner. That would be my go-to dinner. But for breakfast and lunch, I was eating things that just went down easier, that was easier for my body to digest, versus what they were eating. Say, one of my cousins would eat for lunch, she would have a salad, but she would have some steak on it. Whereas I might have, a pack of crackers, or, a handful of pretzels or something like that. And so I was hungry quicker than she would be, because she was eating that high protein, and it was, keeping her full. My stomach just didn't feel good having those more dense foods like steak and chicken and all of the things. Now, I do eat a lot of chicken now, but I'm talking within the first year after surgery, why I felt like I was able to have more food than the people around me that I know, and that's because of the difference in the foods that I was eating. But I said all that to bring up a point that I'm going to make, and the topic of today's video, other than just my numbers, is the fatigue that I have now, and the fatigue that I experienced soon after weight loss surgery. Now, the common denominator to me is low calories. Low caloric intake is what I think is causing me the fatigue on the level that it is now, and I know that it was then. Like I said, the fatigue had gotten better since, I started Mounjaro, and the longer the time that goes by, your body adapts to things and all that. I know I said that, but hear me out. I have been trying to slowly increase my calories, because if you just add too many calories too quick, you're going to upset your digestion in a big way. Mounjaro or not. But it's the added exercise that I've thrown in. And this was the same thing that happened with me after weight loss surgery, when I started increasing activity with specific weightlifting plans. and just routines and things. Now, the difference between now and then is that at that time I decided to just put the weightlifting on the back burner and just revisit it at a different time. And this time I'm going to push through. What I'm planning on doing is, well, let me backtrack just a little bit. I've not went in like full-blown specific routines with a set split and all of that with the weightlifting. I have been easing into it, doing a few different exercises per day, every other day, hitting different muscle groups, but only doing like one set, with not super heavy weights. So low weight, low reps, one set. Now, that might not sound like much. And if you know anything about the bodybuilding world, or, just weightlifting in general, it's not much. But when you take somebody who has been in a caloric deficit for an extended amount of time, and who is also on a GLP-1, not just for weight loss, but I'm type 2 diabetic as well. But I've said it just about every video that I've mentioned that. I'm just being transparent over here, and I'm keeping it real. My main goal for wanting GLP-1 was the weight loss. I mean, yeah, I don't want the diabetes to take me out. Don't get me wrong. I don't mean to make it sound that way. But I'm saying my main thought process was, I want to lose this weight, which will, in turn, help with the type 2. So, but just adding in that little bit of activity and skipping that week and then restarting the Mounjaro, which I think caused not only some of the inflammation to return pretty quick, but it was like I was having some of the original side effects over again. I started experiencing some, nausea that had went away, and then the fatigue is back, and so I think it was just a combination of all the things. But I know that adding in just that little bit of extra calorie burn, already ingesting little calories, is playing a big part on why I'm as tired as I am. And I'm not talking about, oh, I could just use an afternoon nap. I'm talking about it's everything I've got to get just basic things around the house done. If I sit down and I'm just like not doing, anything specific, like this video talking to you, if I was just sitting here like maybe looking through Pinterest or something, I would have already fallen asleep. Like gym fatigue, if you know what that is, but it doesn't usually happen on this low of a level that I'm starting out, reintroducing the weightlifting. But that's what the only thing I know to compare it to. And if you don't know what that is, go ahead and Google that so that I don't have to go into detail and make this video longer than it needs to be, or, and say something wrong that's going to confuse somebody. So go ahead, you Google that for yourself if you're curious about that. But I've had that before in the past, and from overtraining, and that's just what this feels like. Even though I'm not overtraining, it's kind of the equivalent of overtraining because of the low calories that I'm eating. Even though I added more, it's still low. Like, I think the highest number that I ate this week on calories. Now, I put things in my bariatric app to track my protein, but it does, like, it automatically does the calories. And my main focus is getting the protein up, because usually if you can hit your protein, everything else is where it needs to be for, you know, for for the most part. But I mean, the calories are right there and I can see them. I think the highest that I went in calories this week was just barely over 1,000. And so that's not enough. That's not enough calories. But again, I'm just trying to, you know, slowly increase it. And like I said, my appetite has increased. I can tell that. And that is the exercise doing that as well. Even though the exercise I know is playing a part on making me more tired, it's also, you know, going to increase my appetite more and more, and I will be able to eat more. But in the meantime, what I am doing is I'm switching up some things to increase calories. That's not going to necessarily increase the volume of food that I feel like I'm eating. For example, I usually buy the 2% Fairlife milk. I'm getting some whole Fairlife milk tomorrow when I go to the store. I might go today, I don't know. But that's a way that I'm going to increase some calories and some fat. If you're going to increase anything as far as macros go, I would suggest increasing fat over sugars, because your body is going to utilize fats better in a more productive way for you than sugar is going to. So that's just a little rabbit trail there, kind of rabbit trail. Side note. So I'm going to do that, and I already got my yogurt for this week. I bought full fat yogurt instead of the light. And the only reason that I always got the light was just because I liked the consistency of it and the taste of that better. But I'm just going to have to get used to the full fat yogurt because I need those extra calories and I need that extra fat. I think the protein's about the same. Don't mark my words in red like Jesus himself said it, but I'm pretty sure that the protein is the same. If it's not, it's close enough. So that's something that I'm doing. Another way that you can add some more calories and fats, and what I plan to do, is eating some nuts. Gosh, excuse me, y'all. It's like a burp is stuck right there. Those are a good source of fat and calories and protein, so I'm going to be having some of those for a snack this week. I bought turkey sticks instead of beef sticks. No, scratch that. I was behind the turkey sticks and having those as an occasional snack with a cheese stick, but I bought the beef sticks this time instead. So those are a little higher in calories and fat. I'm not sure about the protein on those. I was going to get some, I don't know if they're, I'm always wondering if I said this wrong, chia seeds or chia seeds or however, and maybe put sprinkle some of those on a salad or something. I've seen a lot of people put those in their yogurt and make overnight oats with those, and I planned on doing that, but I forgot to get those. So you'll see those next week probably in my what I ate. There was something else. I can't remember now, but just changing little things like that is where I'm starting out at before I go like adding in like an extra meal or something. Because again, I'm wanting to just slowly work my way up because I'm already, having all the issues with my gut, which was an issue for me before weight loss surgery, before GLP-1. Since I was a kid, like I've had issues with my stomach. So if I can, make that transition a little smoother on myself, I plan to do that. And something else, let me go ahead and mention this before I forget. At the end of this video, where I attach my what I ate this week, there was one thing that I had twice, I think, that I just for whatever reason just forgot to record. It wasn't an on-purpose thing, obviously, or I wouldn't be sitting here telling you about it. I have no reason to lie about what I eat or what I drink or anything. Oh my God, there's a spider. Keep an eye on that little guy. But I did have some Jim Beam mixed in with some Diet Mountain Dew 2 times this week. Okay, so I had that twice this week while me and my husband just sat down and watched some TV in the evening, how we always do together. So I forgot to include that. So that is not something that I'm adding in to hit more calories or anything like that. Sometimes I just want a drink before bed. It does help me just to relax. And unpopular opinion, I do like the taste of whiskey. So there's that. So my phone keeps kicking off because it's saying I don't have enough storage. So let me just get into these numbers real quick for you. Okay, my high weight was 259.2 before my gastric sleeve surgery, which I weighed in on the hospital scale at 250 on that day. I dropped down to around 177, and then I had a weight gain of up to 199.9, and that is the day that I started Saxenda. With Saxenda, I dropped back down to 177 when I switched over to Mounjaro. That was my starting point, my starting weight with that. And so last week I weighed in at 143, and again, I'm not actively trying to lose weight, but my body is going to do what it's going to do. I did lose some weight this week. I lost 2 pounds. And I actually expected the scale to go up, not because muscle's so easy to put on and build and it happens quick, but there is an inflammatory response that is natural for your body to experience when you really add in any kind of new activity. And I expected that to go up and not down, but over time it probably will. But right now it's looking like it's going to go down because I do have more body fat to lose. But I do have more body fat to lose, just in mainly my midsection and my back area. So it might be a process of up one week, down the next, as I build muscle, and that muscle build or burns some of the body fat that I have to lose. It's just it's a finicky thing, trying to add muscle and shed body fat at the same time. And it's not impossible to do, but it can be hard to do. But anyway, that's a whole nother video getting into that. I think I already talked about that last week or the week before anyway. But now I'm going to give you my total numbers after I went off on a little rabbit trail once again. So with today's weigh-in, that means that since the day of surgery, I'm down 109 point nothing, just 109 pounds. Since starting a GLP-1, which was Saxenda, I'm down 58.9. Since starting Mounjaro, I'm down 36. And like I said, I lost 2 pounds since last week, and that puts my total weight loss at 118 pounds, 0.2. So, that's a lot of weight. I actually recall weighing around that at one point in my life. So, I basically lost a teenage me. That sounds crazy to say, but actually whenever I was pregnant with my oldest daughter, I had my first kid when I was 17. I was still a kid myself. But I remember the first prenatal visit that I went to. I was 3 months pregnant with her, and I remember what I weighed that day. It's funny how I remember things like that, but I can't remember something that happened yesterday morning. It's wild how our brains do that to us. But 117 pounds is what I weighed the first doctor's appointment. That's crazy that I've lost that much weight. It's quite an accomplishment, and I honestly, I was starting to wonder if I was ever going to be able to say that I hit a goal weight again in my life. So thanks to gastric sleeve and thanks to the help of Mounjaro, I've been able to do that, and now I'm just kind of playing my maintenance plan by ear, just taking it week to week and seeing, you know, what things need tweaked or switched up, which basically is the same thing, from week to week. Now, this week I can sit here and say, well, I'm going to, you know, have the full fat yogurt and sprinkle the chia seeds on everything like it's fairy dust and wait to see what magically happens. But then next week I might come on here and say, look, that shit tore me up from the floor up. My stomach can't take it. So this is what I'm going to do instead. And I'm just pointing that out because I don't want anybody to think that I'm, you know, going back and forth and not knowing, you know, what my plan is, which I really don't at this point. But I'm just mentioning that because of the stomach issues that kind of come along with being on a GLP-1. You never know. So I just am saying, like, this is what I'm doing right now, but next week it might be just something different due to that. Not because, oh, I'm just wanting to come on here and have something to say. No, it's nothing like that. And I suggest you do the same if something's not working out for you, or you're wanting to put in more calories. Just make little subtle changes. But for sure, if something is not agreeing with you, just remove it. No matter how many people say, you know, oh, you'll get used to that food or your taste buds. If it's causing you any distress, remove it. Just replace it. It's not worth the discomfort. Like, people kept telling me to switch to chicken thighs after my weight loss surgery instead of having chicken breast. Y'all, I tried and I would make myself eat that. I just don't like chicken thigh. I don't like that. It is more tender, but also it has, like, it tastes more fatty, greasier. I don't know what it is, and it would just make me just the texture of it was different. I didn't like it, but I would force myself to eat that with some rice instead of the chicken breast, and I wasn't enjoying my meal. I didn't feel satisfied after. I just felt like I was just going through the motions of eating, and I said, no, I can't do this. If I have to take in less protein because I can only take 3 bites of chicken breast versus, you know, being able to eat 3 ounces of chicken thigh, I'm going to enjoy those 3 bites of chicken breast instead of, like, force feeding myself this 3 ounces of chicken thigh and then just being just kind of grossed out by it. Don't do that. It's not worth it. Just find something else that brings you more enjoyment, less. I mean, if you love chicken thighs, then that's great. I don't mean to, you know, yuck on your yum or whatever, but I'm just telling you that for an example. And like with the yogurt that I mentioned, I'm going to give that a go this week. But after this week, if I, you know, after a week of having it, if I'm like, no, I just can't do it, I'm just going to go back to eating the light yogurt and maybe put some walnuts in it or something to add some more calories and fat. I don't like cottage cheese. I have tried it. I've revisited it multiple times. I don't like the texture of it. It just grosses me out, and I don't care how many recipes I find that's like, oh, you can't even taste it. I'm sorry, I'm not wasting, you know, it's not expensive, but I'm not wasting however little dollars it costs or my time ruining a recipe that I'm probably going to trash with something that I know I don't like. So I don't think you should either. So just, you know, play it by ear each week if you're still trying to figure out, you know, your meal plan and whatnot. And just don't lock in. Don't be so quick to lock in on something just because somebody else is doing it or recommending it until you see yourself if you're even going to like it, for one, or, you know, if it's even going to agree with you. keeping that in mind, just from 1 week to the next, we'll just see how it goes and what happens, and we'll report back. That's all we can do. But I hope everybody's doing well. And if you haven't subscribed already, I would appreciate if you do that. And also, go ahead and give me a thumbs up on this video if you don't mind. It really helps me out. And I hope everybody's doing well. Let me know where you're at in your journey in the comments. I love connecting with you guys and chit-chatting. Let me know, are you still in weight loss mode? How long do you have till your goal weight? Do you think you're on the right track? Are you in maintenance? What's some tips you have for me? You know, as I approach maintenance, if you're already there, I'd really appreciate that. So, but I'll check in with you guys with another update in a week. And now you will see what I ate this week. Bye, guys. Thanks for watching.